I was sitting in my downtown apartment, eating leftover Thai food when the notification came through. My mother had posted on Facebook. Again, she posted constantly. Photos of elaborate dinners, vacation updates, and of course, endless tributes to my sister Amanda. But this one made me put down my chopsticks. The photo showed our family estate, the sprawling Victorian mansion where I'd grown up, decorated with hundreds of white and gold balloons. The caption read, "Surprise party for our Amanda, 27 and thriving. Celebrating the only birthday worth remembering. Proud parents, perfect daughters, some children make it all worthwhile." Today was October 14th, my birthday. I'm 29 today, not that anyone in my family had acknowledged it. I scrolled through the photos, Amanda in a designer dress, looking shocked and delighted. My father popping champagne. Extended family I hadn't heard from in months, all dressed up and celebrating. The dining room table was laden with catering from that expensive restaurant downtown. My phone buzzed. A text from my childhood best friend Sophie. "Did your parents seriously throw Amanda a party on your birthday?" I didn't respond. I just sat there, staring at the photos, feeling something cold and final settle in my chest. This wasn't new. My parents had always favored Amanda, the beautiful one, the charming one, the daughter who'd become a pediatric surgeon, like our father wanted. Meanwhile, I was the difficult one, the one who'd majored in business instead of medicine, who'd chosen commercial real estate over saving lives. But throwing Amanda a surprise party on my actual birthday, that was a new level of cruelty. My phone rang. "Sophie, don't answer it if you're crying," she said when I picked up. "I'm not crying." My voice was flat. "I'm done crying over them." "Grace, this is insane even for your family. I know. Are you okay?" I looked around my modest one-bedroom apartment, the place I'd rented after my parents made it clear I wasn't welcome to stay at the estate indefinitely like some people. The apartment I'd furnished with IKEA and Craigslist finds, while Amanda lived rent-free in the guest house on the property. "I'm fine," I said. "Actually, I'm better than fine. I just remembered something." "What?" "I need to make a phone call. I'll talk to you tomorrow." I hung up and opened my laptop. It took me 20 minutes to find what I was looking for, a folder I'd saved 5 years ago and hadn't thought about since. Until now. Let me explain something about the Wellington estate, the family mansion my parents were currently filling with balloons and champagne. My grandfather, my mother's father, had built the house in 1952. He'd been a real estate developer, brilliant and eccentric, who'd made a fortune in post-war construction. He'd loved that house, and he'd loved me. I was his favorite. Not Amanda with her perfect grades and surgical aspirations, me. The granddaughter who'd sit with him in his study, listening to stories about property deals and investment strategies while Amanda was at piano lessons or debate team. When Grandpa died 7 years ago, everyone assumed he'd left the estate to my mother, his only child. And he had, sort of. I'd been at the will reading. I was 22, fresh out of college. My mother had inherited the house, but with specific conditions buried in the legal language that most people skimmed over. The estate was held in a trust. My mother had life estate rights, meaning she could live there and manage it, but she didn't own it outright. And the trust had a reversion clause. If certain conditions were met, full ownership would transfer to the granddaughter who pursued his legacy. At the time, everyone assumed that meant whoever went into real estate or business, but the language was deliberately vague. Grandpa's lawyer, who'd helped draft it, had pulled me aside after the reading. "Your grandfather wanted you to have options, Grace," he'd said quietly. "This trust is designed to protect his legacy, but also to ensure the estate goes to someone who truly values it. The activation clause is simple but specific. When you're ready, you'll know what to do." He'd handed me a sealed envelope. Inside were instructions and the contact information for the trust administrator. I'd filed it away, not really understanding what it meant. I'd been too young, too uncertain about my own path. But 5 years in commercial real estate had taught me to read between the lines of legal documents. And now, sitting in my apartment on my forgotten birthday, I finally understood what Grandpa had done. I pulled up the trust documents on my laptop. The language was dense, but the key clause was on page 47. Upon the primary beneficiary's demonstration of neglect toward family legacy and values, as evidenced by documented exclusion or material harm to a direct descendant pursuing the grantor's business interests. The successor beneficiary may petition the trust administrator for immediate transfer of full ownership rights. Translation: if my mother demonstrated she didn't value family or grandpa's legacy, particularly toward a grandchild working in his field, I could claim the house. I'd need documentation, evidence, proof of systematic exclusion. I opened Facebook and started taking screenshots. Not just today's post, but years of them. Amanda's graduation party at the estate. Amanda's engagement party. Amanda's birthday celebrations, including 3 previous birthdays celebrated on or near my own birthday. Posts praising Amanda. Posts where I was cropped out of family photos or not mentioned at all. Comments from my mother about how some children make you proud and not everyone lives up to their potential. Then I pulled up my email and found messages from my father, including one from 3 years ago. Grace, your mother and I feel it's time you found your own place. Amanda needs the guest house for her residency, and frankly, your presence is creating tension. We'd appreciate it if you could move out by the end of the month. I'd moved out in 2 weeks. Amanda had hosted a housewarming party in her new space the following weekend. I had bank statements showing Amanda's rent, $0. Mine, $1,850 per month. I had text messages, voicemails, a paper trail of 5 years of being excluded, dismissed, and erased. And I had one more thing, my business portfolio. 5 years in commercial real estate hadn't just been a job. I'd been learning, saving, investing. I now owned 3 small apartment buildings and had a growing property management company. I was doing exactly what Grandpa had done, building something from the ground up. I was pursuing his legacy. Amanda was pursuing medicine, which was admirable, but had nothing to do with Grandpa's life's work. I called the number from the envelope. It was 9 p.m., but the lawyer, Mr. Theodore Shen, had told me he was available anytime, day or night, when you're ready. He answered on the second ring. Ms. Wellington, I wondered when I'd hear from you. You knew I'd call. Your grandfather was certain you would. Eventually. I heard papers rustling. I've been maintaining the trust documentation. I assume you're calling about the reversion clause? Yes, I have evidence. I'm sure you do. Your grandfather anticipated this might happen. He knew his daughter well. Mr. Chen's voice was gentle but professional. Email me everything you have. I'll need 48 hours to review and prepare the paperwork. If everything is in order, I can file the petition by Friday. And then the trust administrator, that's me, reviews the evidence against the terms of the trust. If I determine the conditions have been met, ownership transfers to you immediately. Your mother will have 30 days to vacate if she chooses not to remain as your tenant. My heart was pounding. This is really happening. Only if you want it to happen, Grace. Your grandfather gave you this option, but he didn't mandate it. You can walk away from this call and nothing changes. I looked at the Facebook photos still open on my screen, the party my parents were throwing for Amanda on my birthday. The caption about the only birthday worth remembering. I'm not walking away, I said. I'm sending you the documentation now. It took me 3 hours to compile everything: photos, emails, text messages, bank statements, social media posts. I organized it chronologically, showing a clear pattern of exclusion and favoritism. I also included my business documentation, my LLC papers, property deeds, financial statements proving I was successfully pursuing real estate development, just like Grandpa had. I sent it all to Mr. Chen at 12:47 a.m. His response came at 1:03 a.m. Received. This is more than sufficient. I'll have the petition ready by Thursday afternoon. Congratulations, Grace. Your grandfather would be very proud. I closed my laptop and sat in the dark, listening to the city sounds outside my window. Tomorrow, my life would change. But tonight, I was still just the forgotten daughter eating cold pad thai on her birthday. Mr. Chen filed the petition on Thursday at 4 p.m. By law, my mother had to be notified within 24 hours. The call came Friday morning at 10:15 a.m. I was at a property inspection when my phone lit up with Mom on the caller ID. I let it ring. She called again and again, 12 times in 20 minutes. Then my father called, then Amanda. I was in a meeting when the texts started coming through. Mom, what have you do any? Mom, call me immediately. Mom, this is ILLEGAL. Our lawyer says you're trying to steal our home. Dad, Grace, we need to talk about this misunderstanding. Amanda, please tell me you're not really doing this to our parents. I finished my meeting, walked to my car, and finally called back. My mother answered before the first ring finished. How dare y'all you? I filed a legal petition to claim my inheritance, I said calmly. The one Grandpa set up specifically for this situation. That house is mine. No, Mom. That house was Grandpa's. He left it in trust with specific conditions. You've violated those conditions for 5 years. Now the house goes to who he really intended to have it. This is about the party, isn't it? Her voice shifted to that wounded tone she used when she wanted sympathy. Grace, we were just celebrating Amanda. On my birthday, I interrupted. You threw my sister a surprise party on my 29th birthday and posted that hers was the only birthday worth remembering. That wasn't just celebrating Amanda, Mom. That was erasing me. You're being oversensitive. I have 5 years of documentation that says otherwise. Every birthday you forgot. Every achievement you dismissed. Every time you chose Amanda over me, excluded me from family events, crocked me out of photos. I have it all. Silence. Why are you doing this? She finally asked, and she sounded genuinely confused. We gave you everything. You gave me nothing, I said quietly. You gave everything to Amanda, the guest house, the parties, the praise, the pride. You gave me criticism and rejection and a clear message that I wasn't good enough to be part of this family. That's not true. Then why have you never once visited my apartment? Why have you never asked about my business? Why don't you know that I own 3 buildings now? That I'm doing exactly what Grandpa did? That I'm successful in my own right? My voice cracked. Why did you throw Amanda a party on my birthday and not even send me a text? The line was silent for so long I thought she'd hung up. I didn't realize, she finally whispered. No, you didn't, because you never looked. You were too busy celebrating Amanda to see that I was building something too, something Grandpa would have been proud of. Grace, please, the house is our home. It's my home now, or it will be, once the trust transfer is complete. Mr. Chen says the evidence is conclusive. We'll fight this. You can try, but Grandpa was very smart, and his lawyers were very thorough. The trust is ironclad. You violated the terms. I meet the conditions for succession. It's over, Mom. Where are we supposed to go? Her voice was small now, frightened. I honestly don't know, but you have 30 days to figure it out, assuming you don't want to stay on as tenants. I paused. Maybe Amanda's guest house is available. I hung up. The legal process took 3 weeks. My mother's lawyers reviewed the trust documents and advised her not to contest it. The language was clear, and my documentation was overwhelming. On November 4th, I received the final paperwork. The Wellington estate was officially mine. My parents moved out by Thanksgiving. They bought a luxury condo downtown, smaller than the estate but still comfortable. My father was still a successful surgeon. They weren't destitute, just humbled. Amanda helped them move. She sent me one text during the process. I hope this was worth destroying our family. I didn't respond. The first time I walked through the estate as its owner, I was alone. I wandered through rooms filled with memories, some good, most complicated. My childhood bedroom, unchanged since I'd moved out. The study where Grandpa had taught me about property values and investment strategies. The dining room where I'd sat through hundreds of dinners feeling invisible. I ended up in Grandpa's old study. His books were still on the shelves. My mother had kept the room exactly as he left it, like a shrine. There was an envelope on the desk with my name on it in Grandpa's handwriting. I picked it up with shaking hands and opened it. My dearest Grace, if you're reading this, you've claimed your inheritance. I'm proud of you, not for taking the house, but for building something worth protecting. I knew your mother would favor Amanda. That's who she is. She values traditional success, conventional paths. She doesn't understand the courage it takes to build something from nothing, but you understand. You always did. Even as a little girl, you asked better questions than most adults. You saw possibilities where others saw limitations. This house isn't just a building, it's a legacy. It represents risk and reward, vision and execution. I built it with my own hands and my own mind, and I want it to belong to someone who understands that kind of creation. Your mother will be hurt. Amanda will be angry. That's unfortunate, but it's not your responsibility to sacrifice your inheritance to soothe their feelings. You deserve this, Grace. Not because you're my granddaughter, but because you earned it by becoming someone I'm proud to call my successor. Build something amazing, And remember, family isn't just about blood. It's about who shows up, who sees you, who values what you bring to the world. I always saw you. All my love, Grandpa. I sat in his chair and cried for 20 minutes. 6 months later, I hosted my 30th birthday party at the Wellington estate. Not a fancy catered affair like Amanda's, just close friends, selfie, and colleagues from work. People who'd supported me, believed in me, shown up for me over the years. We ate pizza on the back patio and drank wine from Grandpa's cellar. Someone brought a karaoke machine. It was chaotic and perfect. My phone buzzed around 9 p.m., a text from Amanda. I saw Sophie's Instagram story. The house looks beautiful. Happy birthday, Grace. I stared at it for a long time, then typed back. Thank you. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, then appeared again. I'm sorry for everything. I didn't realize how bad it was. How they treated you. I know. Can we talk sometime? Just us. I looked around at my party, at my home, at the life I built despite everything. Maybe, I typed, when I'm ready. Because here's what I learned. You can't force people to value you. You can't make them see your worth. You can only build a life so undeniable that eventually, even those who dismissed you have to acknowledge what you've become. My mother still hasn't spoken to me. She sends Christmas cards to the condo address, never mentioning the estate or what happened. My father tried to apologize once, but it was half-hearted, more about his own guilt than my pain. But Amanda and I have coffee sometimes now. It's awkward, but it's real. She's trying to understand how she benefited from a system that excluded me. I'm trying to forgive her for not noticing sooner. It's not perfect, but it's honest. And the Wellington estate, it's mine, all mine. I'm converting part of it into office space for my growing property management company. The guest house, Amanda's old space, is now home to a rotating program for young women starting businesses in real estate. Grandpa's legacy, but expanded. On my birthday this year, I posted a photo of the estate with a simple caption. Celebrating 30 years and new beginnings. Some birthdays are worth remembering after all. My mother didn't like or comment. But Sophie did, and 50 other people who actually matter. And somewhere, I think Grandpa was smiling.